Cylons lured me into their deception once. Never again.
Thrive on it.
I was just thinking.
That's what I was afraid of.
I say we take off and nuke the entire site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
Diana coming on tonight?
This is the IFB Thursday night broadcast.
That's gonna work great, man. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Bango. Bingo. Bang.
And excellent.
Zip.
Welcome
Pow.
to like magic. Just like magic, Chris.
PFM. Pure fracking magic.
That's it. Welcome to season 6 of IFB Interfleet Broadcasting, our award-winning pop culture sci-fi news and entertainment channel. I'm New York Pete, your co-host. My best buddy is Chris, the Tipsy Toaster. And
Howdy.
We bring you our unique take from growing up watching and reading all that great 70s, 80s, and some 90s,
You keep saying growing up.
TV.
We never have.
No, we haven't.
Okay,
that is
keep
true.
going.
But
Here we go.
we carry it with us throughout our lives. TV, movies, the cartoons, the comic books, novels, and of course, visiting conventions. And we are big classic Battlestar Galactica fans. Welcome, everybody. We got a packed show tonight, which is great. And we have a lot of updates. Oh, my God. So, look, we toasted the fans.
Yes.
So let's get that out of the way first.
Out
and
of the way.
foremost.
You act like it's the best part of the show. We get to bring on
It is the best part of the
either whoever's with us if they want to, and we get to recognize all of the great people who make the fandom great. What are you looking at, Pete? You're making me wonder.
Absolutely correct.
Pete's over there.
You are not wrong. Okay.
Pete, you look like me in the
Good.
background.
Yes, I
Checking
am
out another
looking
one.
Here we go. Perfect. Okay, I got everybody. I was just setting up the chat, looking at the chat on Facebook. And you have YouTube and all the others, but
Yeah.
I have, yes. All right.
Has everybody got
We
something to
have all
drink? We can all toast to the fans,
I do.
even our guest.
There we go. I'm good.
Mr. Zouvelos, you good?
All right. So, as we say here on IFB, Chris?
We really appreciate you being here. We thank you for everything that you do. And the important thing is we recognize the fans and of the fandom. Thanks for being here. Really, it is great. Every Thursday here, 8 o'clock.
Yep.
And you people show up, and we appreciate it. So here's to you, whether you're following us live or in syndication.
Rerun.
Because fans
fuel
fuel the fleet.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We have
This
a
is the
bunch.
best part of my
We
week.
got it. Yeah, here we go. Ready? Are you ready? Are you ready, Chris?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Okay. George Giacumis is with us. I see him up front and center. Mike DeBrune and Rick Moreno, Donna Joy and Erika Riley, Bert Oliver Bomer, Chuck Davenport, and Kim Harm's there too. Let's see, James McCoy, and I know there's a bunch of you over on YouTube and some of the other I guess platforms that we have set up. Welcome everybody. Please, say something, just a quick hello so that we can try to catch you up on here and do the shout out. So thank you so much for joining us live. We got a whole bunch of things to talk about and tell you about, including some of the updates for, productions, both our own and some of the other things that are going on. We have, of course, award-winning director, producer, lead star, not only of Once a Week for Life, but of course Captain Martin from The Stranded Warrior, and he's going to tell us all about the big release streaming now. I had the privilege of going to local theater for the limited release in theaters, and I got to see it. I even have my stub. I was gonna make sure I have that as a prop so I could show everybody.
I have it ordered. I have ordered it off Amazon, and I bought the HD version. I just have not had time to sit down and watch it as of yet. That's totally wrong, Pete. That says an adult.
That's right, but I snuck in. I snuck in. And I was there. Proof positive, and you guys saw some of the posting I did, which was great. Thank you, George, for hosting, inviting, and having red carpet. We all enjoyed ourselves, and I snuck in a couple of interviews, so that was great, and we had a really good time with that. So it's out there, and as soon as we have Tiny Bean will do her set, and her segment will come up, and then we'll jump over to George, and then we'll see who else can come on, but we have a full house anyway. Erika will come on, we'll do the convention thing. I have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about with her about that, and then of course Bran will be here at the Admiral, and so we'll talk about Star Trek and that, so that's cool as well. But Tiny Bean, how are you?
I'm great. How you doing?
How you doing?
We got
How you doing?
We got a show. We're cooking with gas. Are you kidding me? Absolutely doing fantastic. I am trying to catch up with some of the recommendations that you've made in the past. I did finish watching Night Agent. I thought it was fantastic. As a matter of fact, going from season 2 to season 3, I noticed that Dick Grant-Tulane, who was in Once a Week for Life, was in it, and I got to catch up to him at the theatrical release for Once a Week for Life, and it was great talking to him, and kind of I was doing a little fanboy thing with him, so he's a really nice guy. So that was one of them, and then there's a couple of others. There's one Stephen King, the one where it's a limited series and time travel and trying to stop the assassination of JFK.
Oh, that's JFK.
Yes, that was good.
So I'm watching that, and it is good. So
nice.
So I'm trying to catch up. It's kind of difficult, but I'm trying. Tiny Bean.
I know
you have a great segment tonight. So
all I have to say is Pilskin.
Oh, well, all right. I'm going to say no more. And you know what, Tiny Bean, real quick before you start, James
Yeah.
Tolkien from Top Gun, we put that up. It was part of your charity last year, and of course he passed. Great character actor and co-star on a lot of productions. So
Yeah.
sorry to hear he had passed.
Oh,
But
thank you. Absolutely charming man, and he would be happy to hear that people remember him well. So thank
oh,
you.
absolutely. Well, all right. I guess it's all you then, Tiny Bean.
Ooh, all right, Tipsy, are you ready?
Of course I am.
Of course he is. Amazing. All right. Well, hello, IFB. Happy mid-April. What a beautiful time of year. Hope you're all enjoying it wherever you are. It is a fun time in the entertainment world, too. And here in Tiny Bean's Corner, we like to discuss new, old, and otherwise interesting things for the fleet's potential viewing pleasure. I have scoured the offerings to save you time, and I have lots of fun stuff to share tonight. Let's dive in. First off, in the fresh off the presses news, get ready for a remake of Escape from New York.
Ooh.
It's really happening, guys. Studio Canal confirmed at CinemaCon that they are working on a reimagined version, not a direct sequel, but sources say Snake Plissken will be involved. No word yet on Kurt Russell or John Carpenter's involvement. I'm just holding out hope that they cast Wyatt Russell in his dad's role, because that would be amazing. So stay tuned, guys. You know I'll be following this one. Next up in news, word just dropped that the incredible Peter Dinklage is officially joining season 2 of Alien Earth. Not much more to say about this now, guys. Details on Dinklage's role are locked in a secure Wayland-Yutani facility at the moment. But such exciting news, guys. I mean, Dinklage always elevates a project, so really excited that he'll be joining Wendy and the Lost Boys when the second season hits next year. Now, here's some speculative news that is very, very intriguing. Check out the trailer for a new sci-fi-esque thriller coming soon called The End of Oak Street, starring Ewan McGregor and Anne Hathaway, and brought to us by J.J. Abrams. It looks really cool. It's like a suburban community suddenly disappearing, maybe going back in time to the dinosaurs. But here's where things get really interesting. Originally, the working title was Flowervale Street. Does that sound like anything else to you? Yeah. There is growing buzz in the sci-fi community that this film is actually secretly the next installment in the Cloverfield universe. Not an unusual move with them. They are known to do things like this. And back a few months ago, if you remember, in the corner, I mentioned that there was one of these Cloverfield countdown clocks showing up online again. So color me intrigued. In any event, guys, this looks like a fun film, and it will hit theaters August 14th. Now, up in previews, we've got some really cool stuff to look out for. Good Omens is finally back with a third and final season. Based on Neil Gaiman's beloved book, they have been a smashing success, starring the delightful Neil Tennant and Michael Sheen as besties from heaven and hell. This new season appears to be tackling plans for the second coming, and adds such notables as Mark Addy, Derek Jacobi, Elizabeth Barrington, and more to this fun-filled romp. I can't wait. The new season drops May 13th on Prime. Now, here's a much darker option. The story of Cape Fear first captivated audiences back in 1962 with Robert Mitchum and Gregory Peck. Then, of course, there was the splashy 1991 version with Nick Nolte and a buffed-up Robert De Niro. Now, we are in for the miniseries treatment, brought to us by Apple TV. Apple rarely disappoints, guys. This outing stars the always good at playing the creepy bad guy Javier Bardem versus Patrick Wilson and Amy Adams. I think the extended experience of the miniseries will give us a lot more meat to chew on in this story, and the cast is outstanding. Lots working in its favor here, gang, so let's check this one out. It will start June 5th on Apple TV and Peacock, because everything is merging these days. Now, in reviews this week, I have two picks that have really made an impact on me and that I urge you to check out. First up, remember last year around this time, I recommended a silly network comedy called Jury Duty? They created a fake docu-series about being on a jury where everyone involved was secretly an actor, except for the one guy who was hired and honestly believed everything going on around him was real. It was hilarious. So much fun, such enjoyable viewing. I went out on a limb and recommended it to the fleet. Well, unbeknownst to me, it became a really huge hit, and it actually received Emmy nominations, including one for Comedy Supporting Actor for James Marsden, who hilariously presented a pompous version of himself that was hysterical. Well, the show was such a hit, they did it again. This time, creating a fictional company on their company retreat. And this time, they hired a new temp assistant to join them. You must check this out, guy. If you really want to laugh, this is for you. And as an actor, to see the work that this brilliant cast and behind the scenes crew have to do to be in character and filming improv practically 24/7 to keep the wool over this guy's eyes is just insane. But the real take home of these shows is how absolutely, especially nice these two guys that they picked as the hero of the seasons are. They are just genuinely the nicest, most genuine guys doing their best for all involved. That's lovely. So check out Jury Duty Company Retreat on Prime. P.S. It's a little blue at times, so keep this one adults only. Lastly, tonight, I am going to make a bold statement. I think I have found my favorite movie of 2026 so far. It is a sci-fi crime time travel film called Mike and Nick and Nick and Alice. What can I say? I absolutely loved this movie. This is what I want to see. Something unique, fun, and oddly touching as well. This film has all that and a bag of chips. Starring Vince Vaughn in a dual role, James Marsden, Eliza Gonzalez, the legend that is Keith David, and Jimmy Tatro. I really can't say much without giving anything away. Just know that 1, it's a delightful romp. 2, sit back and enjoy, but pay attention. And 3, it's way better than some of the reviews are giving it. And the soundtrack alone is well worth the ride. And I promise you, you will never hear Oasis's Don't Look Back in Anger again the same way. I've watched this like 3 times already, and I like it better each time. It's one of those that once you see it once and you get the twist and you get what's going on, you go, oh, oh, oh. And then you watch it again to go back and see how everything is laid out, and it's mind-blowing. This one will stay with you long after the final credits roll, and I'm hoping for a sequel. It's on Hulu and Disney right now. So give it a try, Fleet. What have you got to lose? And let me know what you think. That is all for the corner tonight. Back to you, Pete.
Well, thank you. As usual, fantastic job.
Thank you.
And of course, you recently celebrated a birthday, so happy birthday.
Thank you.
A lot of the fleet sent their best wishes on IFB, of course.
Yes.
And so, Karen, thank you for, reminding us. Appreciate it. Everybody it's a family, so we want to make sure that we recognized your hard work, your great spirit, your positivity, and we look forward to being with you at shore leave.
I can't wait.
What? Yes, yes, yes.
Amazing.
Yep, we're gonna have a great time. You'll be there. A bunch of right. We're posting those that can. I'm waiting on confirmation from Battlestar Bulletin Board, and I'm
Awesome.
waiting from Battlestar Galactica. We'll be making a debut, sort of premiere there. So we've invited him, both of them, to the panel so that we can do the Q&A along with them. So as soon as they confirm, we're going to publicize that. It'll be great. We're gonna have a great time. Jack Stauffer, of course, he's now signed the dotted line. He is confirmed as a celebrity guest. He will be there virtually. We got a lot of questions. There were a lot of questions about that, Tiny Bean, but he'll be there, virtually. They'll set him up. He'll have a table, monitor, and for 4 hours, Saturday and Sunday, he'll be there. He'll have some
ask questions
autographs
and everything.
Yeah, so it'll be great. Plus, don't forget that you're gonna have some stuff to sign as well. So for anyone that stops over at our table, Tiny Bean, you'll have your own material to sign off and give away, along with the rest of the celebrities that come from the Stranded Warrior, which it's our way to give back again to the fandom. We did such a great job, and Captain Martin is waiting in the green room, and we'll talk a little bit to him, with him as well about wrapping up the run, the festival run, and how this is all ended so well, way beyond our expectations, beating out Star Wars fan films, Star Trek fan films, all of the superhero fan films, Tiny Bean, and you were part of it as well. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for letting me be a part. And thank you so much to everyone on the fleet who wished me a happy birthday. You guys really made my day. I so appreciate it. And I love you all.
Well, Tiny Bean, hope to see you again soon when your next segment comes up. And
meanwhile, I'll be checking some of those out, I think.
Great.
Oh, yeah, we will. Absolutely. You come back and I will. We will all have something to say. So, live long and prosper, Tiny Bean. All the best and many more. The happiest of the new birthday year for you. Here's to you.
Thank you so much, guys. Fans fuel the fleet.
Fans fuel the fleet.
Fans fuel the fleet.
All right. I'll see you later. I'll be watching.
Okie dokie. Commander Kane, thank you. Paul Rodder's with us. Thank you for joining us live. And James McLaughlin, thank you. Bert Oliver Bomer, of course. Thank you. Oh, Rob Baum, right? And Karen, all of you, thank you very much. We have Captain Martin's with us, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about, the whole state of affairs, because he's in the biz big time. He's got his feature movie streaming as we speak, guys. So without further ado, George Zouvelos is with us, award-winning director, writer, producer, and star of Once a Week for Life. And welcome back again to IFB. George, how are you?
Good. I'm happy to be here. It's good to see everybody here.
I have put the link up, so you know.
Great. For those who don't know, Pete was at our red carpet. He did some great interviews, actually put up the red carpet and the backdrop. And he's been a good friend, and he's helped throughout. He was a unit production manager, and it's been a long journey, but here we are, and I'm happy to be back.
And it's quite the journey, and I wanted to say this before, and I thought someone was going to beat me to it. We had a fantastic Q&A. George was kind enough to invite everybody, cast and crew, that were at this limited theatrical release, right? We were in the movie theater watching this, and it was phenomenal. And George, I wanted to then say this here for the first time on IFB. Maybe I imagine you've probably heard this before, but you are walking in the footsteps in the legacy of John Cassavetes, right? You are a SAG actor working in the business, and you've now uh, taken the next step up. You've created your own feature film, and it is now out there. It's played in the theaters, and it's now streaming, which is, our this new digital age. That's, the epitome now. Is This is the top of, tip of the iceberg when it comes to getting something made and distributed. You've done it. So you are a modern John Cassavetes. Congratulations, George. We want to emulate what you've been doing. So now tell us where it's at.
Well, the very tip of the iceberg is you hit it when somebody else pays you with their money to make their film. That's the very tip of the iceberg. We're still pedaling on a tricycle, but and I tell people, first you make a film and then you make it better than mine. Until I see what you do, you can't criticize my film. Did you like the story, how you would have done it, or what you would have done with it? First make a film and then make mine and see what it takes to get, 300 people to row in the same direction across 3 years worth of time. And Pete, you were there for much of it. George Jakumis, our director of photography, with Interfleet Broadcasting also.
Well
he was
said.
there as much as he could.
Yes.
And they say it takes a village. I hate that. It takes a family, right? It takes a film family, and family fights, and family thinks family's selfish. But at the end of the day, it's just me and my editor, me and my distributor. And then the family comes back together to reap the benefits of those sleepless nights. And the reviews have been good. I can't review my film. I hate seeing myself on TV. I was 100+ pounds heavier. And I've seen every scene. I know what everybody is going to say. But I like the scenes in it. Some of the scenes are really good in it. And it tells a story. It's not a gangster film. It's not a bang, bang. The bodies don't pile up. There's no excessive blood. There's no gratuitous sex in it. Diana Durango, female co-lead, and I were extremely fortunate to be able to cash in on my casting of an assembled ensemble of actors that have appeared in over 200 Academy, Emmy, Primetime Emmy, People's Choice, Screen Actors Guild, and even 2 Grammys. And we were able to have these veteran actors work hand in glove seamlessly, at least on camera, when you see the last scenes, with actors such as myself and others who are not known to people. And I think that was the catalyst of going to film school, going to acting school, working on CBS Bull and Gotham and The Blacklist and some of the other things that I've done. And I'm like, I'm never going to find that magic unicorn horn and get cast. We're not playing Dungeons and Dragons. You're not going to implore the dungeon master to roll you another set, and it's all about utilizing the best talents of each other and taking the risk, because if you can't bank on yourself, you can't bank on anybody.
That's absolutely true. And yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned that little observation because it seems to be a part of the general public, has the opportunity or the means to be heard. Maybe they want to toot their own horn, and they're very vociferous when it comes to critique. And there's a time and place for it. We've also had some of that for the Stranded Warrior, believe it or not, but that's okay, right? I think that what you said kind of puts everything into perspective and into context. Yes, we make it so that everybody can enjoy it, and whoever has an issue with it, you know what? Go ahead and make your own. We invite you, we implore you. This is just because we made it right? Doesn't mean that somebody else can't. Go ahead, give it a shot, right, George? I mean, Once a Week for Life feature-length movie. The Stranded Warrior that you starred in and produced was a fan film. It's a short. Same thing goes. You can do better, then please go out there. We implore you to go and make, right? Never mind the talk. Get out there and make it, and put it out for everybody else to enjoy. George, where is the Once a Week for Life is streaming as we speak? Where can anyone interested go watch it?
Well, it's on Prime Video. It's on Apple TV through the distributor. It's on Google Play, Fandango at home, DirecTV, Dish Network. It's on Roku. It's on Sling TV. Cable channels have it as a pay-per-view. And it's important that people go see it so we can cycle up early on to the front of the carousel. Because at the end of the day, the actors who are in it that have been, let's say, on, like Dick Grant Tulane has been on The Night Agent. He just came off an FBI. He's a brilliant actor, as is Armin Garrow and Robert Finaro, John Bianco, Paul Borghese, Anthony Congiano, who was in The Stranded Warrior, Jimmy Schertz, who was in The Stranded Warrior, Diana Durango, who's in The Stranded Warrior. I mean, you have so many cross-pollination of talent and of ability. Do it for them. How much we're making on this? I'll be honest with you. The platform takes half. Your distributor takes his piece. And after expenses, if I walk home with $2 every time you watch it, that's a lot. So it takes a lot of $2 to make 3 years worth of work come to fruition. And after that, it goes, you monetize through commercials and stuff on cable channels. And well, we have a foreign release on June 15th. It's going to be in the United Kingdom. So my friends in Ireland, Scotland, and Wales, and London are tickled pink about it because they're sick of cliche New York wannabe stories. And we don't have anything cliche in our film. But then again, we don't have a lot of blood and things that are people with a small attention span. They want to see the body count. They want to see that. I mean, it's real, raw, and realistic. And then it's going to be down in New Zealand and Australia. The Spanish language track, and all the actors are going to be speaking Spanish because we hired a company that's going to do voiceovers and actually play my character and play your character in the second one, Pete, and Chris's character and everybody else's character, because there's 20 Spanish Latin American speaking countries that have need for it. And as it's fortuitous and the distributors want it in Germany and France and Italy, Greece, Spain, and the Caucasus and Russia, Armenia, Turkey, etc. China's going to get it anyway because they take whatever they want from us, whether we let them or not. The idea is to get the actors to be seen, right, and to elevate them. Not only myself, that's the head of that sphere. John Capello said it best, who plays my father in the film. He plays Theo Galanis, retired police captain. He said, sometimes you start a parade and you go forward and you're waving your banner and you're beating your drum. And if you're a good leader, no matter if people agree with you all the time or not, you turn around and next thing you know, you have a whole bunch of people following you. And that's what happened Once a Week for Life. It's a family of friends that have all gone off and did their own thing. And now we're all back together and on TV and in a very big way. So I was talking to Dick Grant and he was like, I was on HBO and I was on this, but I've never been at the same time on Dish, on DirecTV, on Apple TV, on Amazon Prime, because some of these shows, not all, are very platform specific. Right. And we were able to get a limited theatrical thanks to independent films and independent filmmakers, and independent theaters took a chance on us. Because Hollywood is fighting with each other. And somebody said the other day to me, you came in late to the game. It's the sunset of Hollywood. I go, that's fine by me. I was never part of Hollywood. They never welcomed me with open arms, or neither the Stranded Warrior fandom neither. In fact, they shun us. So we'll make our own way. We'll collect the shekels, nickel by nickel. We don't need to make the big money from one shot.
Right, well said. George, what I know you had seen your movie multiple times, but there's always that split second when you look up and you see it on the big screen and you get that magic moment. Did you get it at the theater where we all saw it?
I have. I got it up in Connecticut, down in Pennsylvania, out in Long Island, in Manhattan at our red carpet. We had the red carpet in Belmore. With you were away, and we had the big one in Manhattan where, we got covered by Variety magazine and page 6 of the Post. And I was just very happy to get that kind. But there is a moment when you rely on what other people think only, because the film was made for others. It wasn't made for me. I liked it when I first made it, but it's so arduous and taxing. By the time you trim it down to what you think people can digest and it's palatable, you beat the hell over it. But the feedback from the audience, Pete, you were there.
I was.
People, they're sick of the shake and bake story where slam bam, thank you, ma'am. Only the lead characters get any kind of backstory. And this is not that kind of film. This is not, if you want to see a lot of blood and guts, and there's a lot of salty cursing, and there's addictive behavior, drug and alcohol use. I mean, because the character is PTSD, ex-Navy SEAL, and he's trying to find his road. His modern day Ulysses tumbles through a merciless life while balancing on a razor's edge. And along the way, people, they're his angels in one way or another, as he fights demons. And there's a magic spot when the thing starts and people are clapping, and sometimes you're in a hostile audience, and you still get laughs out of them, and that's important because there's a lot of sardonic humor.
Well, that's the one thing I was going to bring up that's important here. There's a lot of that darkish humor throughout, sprinkled throughout, and it's placed really, really well throughout the film. I found myself laughing out loud multiple times, and I think that makes it a better product, something that's typically not expected from a type of drama like this, but it does work. It works really, really well, George. So kudos. When I originally heard that there was this paced out humor, I wasn't sure how it would ultimately work in this film. I didn't get it until I finally saw the final product. It actually works, and it's so hard. Humor is one of the hardest things to be able to produce, capture properly on TV or film, and you did it. The way your characters are talking, the way your character describes it, the one-liners, they're good. They're really good, better than expected. So don't leave that out when you describe your
what
film.
We try to do is emulate, just like Cassavetes and Sidney Lumet, what it is to be in law enforcement, because we were all in law enforcement. You were in law enforcement. Armengaro was in Rhode Island as a lieutenant. And we understand how we speak, and it's not always procedural, right? We're not only doing scenes that have there's an exchange of that it's there has to something happen from the very beginning. We talk about things that are not necessarily relevant to what we're speaking about. It's because we're not looking for a transactional scene. We're looking for in tandem build characters based on what people respond. And that's a very realistic thing, because you're not going to go on the street and meet somebody on the corner and you start doing a transaction, right? How you doing? How the kids? How's tricks? You believe that dummy, he did this and that yesterday at the basketball game, and I don't make those kind of films. I don't make films that are just talking about the lead actors that you don't develop the supporting actors that are the basis of how that you should feel about the characters, whether good or bad. And I always like Darth Vader, right? I mean, I like the darker characters more than I do the protagonists because, I like the Cylons. I like the kind, I like and you're welcome. And I like the nemesis of Doctor Who, the Daleks, right? I like them. I mean, since I'm a kid in the 70s watching that 13-inch black and white TV that didn't have a handle and only with a pair of pliers and an antenna that was a coat hanger. And that's what I enjoy. I enjoy the anti-hero as much as I enjoy in the evil, And I think the main character being the one that I portray, if he's good, he's chaotic good. Doesn't care about the collateral damage that he does as a lieutenant. And he, you got to watch it and try to enjoy the story. Try to forget about doing your laundry and moving your car for alternate side of the street. If I made you do that, then I did my job. You don't have to like everything.
So, George, tell us a little bit about, give us the synopsis. Tell everybody, what it is that Once a Week for Life is. Tell us about the film so that we can entice everybody to get out. All our fans that haven't, you should. I think it's $4.99 to rent, and it's only like $10-12 to purchase. So give us the synopsis.
Yeah, $12.99.
The Lieutenant Galanis is this beat the crap, if I can say it, lieutenant that came in. He was in Afghanistan, Fallujah, a combat veteran. So he's still used to doing things, and he's not a Steven Seagal, and he's not a Van Damme. He's a moral masochist, right? And he has a certain code. So he won't take the money from the mob, and he's been in the police department for 25 years. And both the mob and his corrupt police nemesis have teamed up. They collided, and they collude against him to take him down. The mob wants him dead. The cops want him retired. At some point, that becomes one and the same. Retired and dead and gone. And he has love interests, and he has problems with his wife, and we deal with addiction. We deal with domestic abuse. We deal with drug abuse and alcohol abuse. And we highlight, and we have in the credits different places where people can reach out, because at the end of the day, Adam has to find his odyssey back to where he was. And that's why we tell the film backwards. When I started filming it with you, I was 330 pounds. Now I'm 130 pounds lighter.
Wow.
Right. So I intermittent fast so I can not only get in better health, but so I can tell the story backwards and say, this is what happened to me. And my days have been dark, and they're not dark anymore. And I can think clear, and I'm not addicted, and I'm not an alcoholic, and I'm recovering. And he tells the story backwards. So the film's a little on the dark end from what he recalls it, Adam Galanis. But the scenes that he's not involved in are bright and in technicolor, right? Because he's talking about, because the film is narrated, right? And it's narrated through not how to make the audience feel, but how he feels it's going on in his soul, his ego, his perception, his conscience. And he has his Jiminy Crickets in the film that play as his moral compass. You get to meet his mom and his dad, and you get to meet his partners, and you also get to meet the people that are looking to undermine him in the first film, and the person that sets him over the edge when he comes back to New York and his partner gets shot, and he loses his partner, and during the end of the film he hunts him down. That's what he tries to do.
Okay, so that's well said, because there's no spoilers in anything you provided. It gives us the backstory to Lieutenant Adam Galanis, who is the lead, which is your character. You play him rather. And so guys, we've put up a link. We've put it up a couple of times now. It is recommended. And George, this is the first installment of a franchise. You've created a franchise because there's a second movie to it. First one is great, stands on its own, but the story's not completely told in the first one, in this one, in Once a Week for Life, the first one. And there is a second part that is complete, and hopefully what's going to happen with that?
The second part is redemption. The third part is wrath. The second part is film. It's going through the film festivals. It's in 30 Academy Award and BAFTA qualifying film festivals. Whether we get selected or not is a different, because this is very non-cliche, not what you expect. You need to have a little bit of attention span to appreciate what each character has to offer. So I think that answers your question. The idea here is, if the audience likes it, by and large, if the audience likes it, I'm not looking for everybody to like it because they can't. I don't like a lot of things. But if they have a hunger for it, the distributor will see that. Investors and contributors will see that. I got the script right in front of me behind this Zoom. It's finished for the third film. The second film will probably come out in September, October. And it depends on how well that Once a Week for Life does. So it's important in order to support us and independent films and independent filmmakers. And none of it is CG. None of it is CGI. None of it is CI. There's no AI. I mean, there's no AI in it at all. I mean, we don't use exploding blood packs. We don't use actually muzzle fire is doctored because I don't use. And I think that you know that I don't use weapons that fire. Not that there's a lot of it, but even a little bit of it was a concern for me, at least outwardly, on the way the cast felt and the crew of having weapons that even fired blanks. I think that was a big concern, that I'm very big on safety. I'm very safety conscious. And you've also helped me with that, and I appreciate it.
George, we are very, very happy to hear not only that it's out there, that you've met that first goal. There is the second that's out there on a different track, on a different level. Our independent film, fan film that we did, The Stranded Warrior, has basically run its course. You were a producer, you starred in it. We ended with, right now, looks like 35 total awards for that, 31 festival selections, and 27 screenings. That includes, of course, the Triborough Film Festival that we're waiting for. And that does not include Shore Leave because Shore Leave is not a competition or festival. However, those are the basically the last two. The last festival is Triborough Film Festival that we are waiting on, and but we did pretty well for ourselves. I'm glad that it did as well as it did. So everybody was in it, and everybody that worked on it, cast and crew, and of course the producers like yourself, we can look back at that and say, hey, we did something that has some validity, some weight to it. We gave back to the fandom, and it's a showcase, and it worked well. I know that, George, a lot of actors, including William Shatner, don't like to watch themselves. It's very difficult for them to go back. And we had this brief conversation. There's something done on a level that is not only appreciated, but has been awarded no less than 35 times for the work that everybody did, cast and crew. But you, as Captain Martin, as the lead in The Stranded Warrior, also did whatever magic you did and whatever you brought has been recognized at least 35 times, George. So congratulations on Once a Week for Life. Congratulations on The Stranded Warrior. We look forward to the next film and the other greatness, the other things you're going to be doing. And so all good things for now in terms of Stranded Warrior. Once a Week is moving, and keep us in the loop on the next one. We want to know what happens, in the festival circuit on the next one.
Well, I will say in closing that my job on the Stranded Warrior, by and large, was done. It was what you and Chris and the team over at Interfleet continue to do. And I appreciate that, because it is something that without all that work and putting up the posts and tagging people and dealing with the festivals and doing reports and all that legwork takes a tremendous amount of time. How do I know? I do it myself. And if it wasn't for my editor, Bill Galatis, and my colorist, Pedro Pimentel, and your cousin, George Jacumas, who's DP, which I can always call up and complain to, and then your never-ending work to get this little favorite fan film out. I can't take credit for anything, honestly. It has to do with the ensemble you put together, Krista Petrie, Jimmy Schertz, even Billy Galatis, and the amazing Diana Durango. You also had Thomas Moynihan. I mean, he's the Mujaro guy now, right?
Yes, he is.
On the commercials. And it's just there's so many people involved that it's unfair for me to say, oh, because of my, no, it's I was able to do what I had to do because everybody did what they had to do and continued to do it way after I got off a set. So thank you.
But you're very welcome. Thank you for everything you've done. Continued success to all the endeavors, to all the filmmakers. But this ideal that you're embodying, the John Cassavetes, is for real. It is happening, and we're happy for that. Happy for you. Happy to be a part of it. And so to your health, to greater upwards and onwards, and all the best, George. Hope to see you again soon.
I'll drink my colonial mead to that.
Excellent. Cheers. Fans fuel the fleet, George.
Fans for the fleet.
Amen.
Awesome job.
Fans fuel the fleet. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, everybody.
Take care, George. Till next time. Wow. Right? Fantastic.
I'll tell you. Editing on a couple of scenes in there. I can't wait to see those.
Oh, that will be, I believe, is all in the next next one. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's going to be fantastic. We're looking forward to that. It was a privilege to be there. Like I said, George was kind enough to invite all the cast and crew that were at the screening. There were a lot of people there. There was press. There were other press and podcasters and streamers were there as well. So it was a lot of fun. Everybody got to go up and, take a bow, said a couple of words here and there. And so it was really, really nice. Much appreciated. And Chris, we did really well on our showcase. We proved that Battlestar fans, old and new,
a hunger. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. There's hunger for it, but that we also are just as talented as any of the other fan filmmakers out there, right? Mm-hmm. The Star Wars, the Star Trek, the DC, Marvel.
I think it's even more difficult because you don't have as many people to copy. How many fan films are Battlestar Galactica? You don't have anybody to, go up against or use for
not many.
How did they do it? But I will tell you how they did with Star Wars and everything else. You can see those, yeah.
But I will tell you this, Chris. Keep in mind that collectively in the last 3 years there have been a lot of CG.
Oh yeah, the CG
films
ones are out there definitely.
Right, there's a lot of those.
Yep.
One of our friends, Mike Goudreau. Mm-hmm. He's actually done 2 Battlestar feature films.
Yep.
Right, indie. And he's worked his butt off. He's gotten those out. And there's a lot of shorts, right? So a lot of shorts, a lot of
CG stuff, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of CG stuff that were in competition. They were submitted. Many of these were submitted. So it's good to say that we weren't the only one out there. That was a question that was posed by one of our fans was, what were the other BSG fan films that were out there, and I've seen a bunch of them that have been made and put out.
Yeah, there's
But
even a competition at one point in time.
Yeah.
Most of those got disappeared because they were part of a competition on Sci-Fi for they give people certain clips of the actual show, and then they rebuilt it.
Yeah.
So
that was a while ago, though.
Yeah,
that was a long while ago. But from then to now, it kind of tried out a little bit. But I can tell you, in the last 3 years, we got this. I've seen them; they're out there. Really well made, really good stuff. We've actually interviewed some of those filmmakers, and you know they're out there, guys. You know, if you look around for them, you will find them, and they're really, really good. I will say that there's not that many live action,
right?
For obvious reasons. It's very expensive, and it's you know,
it is.
Cost restrictive and prohibitive to try to get, you know, actors and costumes and things,
locations, and everything else.
But yeah, so you know, we did good. We showcased, we proved that Galactica does have a life. And like you were saying, like when we submitted to a sci-fi film festival, chances are a lot of the judges, screeners have never seen classic Battlestar Galactica, may not have even seen the reimagined.
Correct.
So they're just watching, as far as they're concerned, they're just watching sci-fi. Old. It's just sci-fi.
Yeah, I have to remember 2004, I think, was the reimagined.
Yeah.
That's, ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Oh, this is going to be bad. That was over 21 years ago.
Wow. Wow.
So when you look at Katie Sackhoff now and you're like, oh, she looks kind of old. That was 24 years ago.
Wow. That's incredible. That's pretty nutty, man. But it is what it is, guys.
But it's okay.
It is what it is. And I'll tell you,
aging gracefully.
There were fan films. Yes, fan films that were like, I saw a whole bunch of Harry Potter. There were Harry Potter fan films. There was a bunch of crossover fan films. There were some Aliens fan films that we competed against. Yeah. So there's, I mean,
a couple Mad Max,
Star Trek, Star Wars, of course, but some of the other, Ghostbusters, bunch of Ghostbuster fan films. That's very popular. We've done really, really well. Like I said, we'll let you know, guys. We're going to have a premiere here on IFB after Shore Leave. We will advertise. We will let you know when that's going to happen. And once we do the premiere here, it will go public. We will put it out on our social media platforms and YouTube, where it will live for everyone to watch after that. So stay tuned. That's coming. It'll be later part of this 2026 summer. It's going to be after Shore Leave. But if you're going to be around in towards the last 10 days of May 2026, New York City Triborough Film Festival will be screening in their festival The Stranded Warrior. Everyone's invited. I will give you, as soon as we hear, we haven't heard our time slot, we will let you know. If you're in Ireland on May 2nd, in Kerry, the May the 4th Film Festival, we broke in, we're being screened. So if you're there, hey, check it out. So we invite you to go and see The Stranded Warrior wedge itself into a Star Wars festival.
That's
right. So there's a couple of others, but I'd say like 85% of all the films that are in it are Star Wars related, and the other 15% is a mix. We're getting screened. We got in, so that says something to the work that all of you did, the fans that made this happen. That, you know, it was crowdfunded by the fans. Thank you so much, and we're looking forward to Shore Leave 46. July 10th through 12th, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And we have our, speaking of conventions, our convention individual, right? So what does that mean? Erika Persinani is in charge of our convention talk, convention conversation, actually it's
We have to have a
convention
double
chat.
C somehow. What do we call
Yes,
this?
it's a CC. It's convention chat.
Cylon
Sorry.
convention. I like it already.
Forget about
Just
that.
use the C
It's
and C, yeah.
convention chat. Erika, welcome back. How are you? Thank you for putting on that awesome uniform and talking with everybody on IFB.
Hey guys, I'm good.
So, you've been through a lot. You've persevered, and you were adamant. Going through everything. You had an issue. I believe it was an ankle issue, and it was drawn out. But never did you give in, give up, or say, you know what, guys, I can't do this. You were always looking for, the opportunity to come back. And I wanted to thank you publicly here with everyone for having the right attitude. So thank you for coming back. How are things now?
Congratulations on your Cylon parts.
You expected that.
I did. The entire time you're talking and George mentioned Cylon, like liking the Cylons and the bad guys. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna hear it now.
That's right. That's right.
So, thanks, George.
So, Erika, let's jump in and talk conventions.
I have 2 conventions that are coming out in May. One of which is GalaxyCon Nashville. It's the end of May, the last weekend in May.
Cool.
The only person that I saw listed as of today was Barry Bostwick. He's going to be a guest there. And then there's Comic Palooza in Houston, May 22nd to the 24th. Lou Ferrigno, the original Incredible Hulk, is going to be there. And the only Battlestar name I saw was the old man was EJO.
Hey,
you said
I know,
Miami Vice
I'm pretty sure the BFC is going to be there with the fleet, so they'll be there.
Cool.
So
that's
at least
cool.
I think they would. You would have to ask Dragon Lady when she comes on, because I know she's slated at some point.
Yes, that is correct. So yeah,
you
very
say
cool.
EJO and say Battlestar. I'm like, I say EJO and Miami Vice.
Yeah, well, see, I still see him in Stand and Deliver. So.
Oh, that was good too. Yes.
Yep.
Wasn't he in La Bamba? No,
he was in Selena.
Selena, that's it. Yep.
He was her father.
And he was in he was part of Decker. He was in such great sci-fi movies too. Blade Runner.
Yes, he was in Blade Runner.
Yeah.
He was Decker. He was one of those characters.
That's
so
cool.
I have a couple of questions for you, Erika, in terms of
it's a quiz time.
Conventions. So, in your opinion, why do you go to the cons that you choose to? What's the driving force?
You talking as like a table or just as a straight up fan?
Yes.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yes.
Well, no.
Both.
Tell us both.
I've done both.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, tell us both.
As a fan, it's just seeing all the other people dressed up, trying to figure out exactly what they're from. Is always fun.
Hey, finally somebody else knows me. Yep. I tell you, all of them.
I've had a few.
All of them are Sailor Moon.
I've had a few where I've had to go, and you're from what now?
Half the time, and they'll tell you like, I'm so and so from the reimagined such and such, and you're like, yeah, that's nice. You look nice. Thanks. Moving on.
I was at one con. I was at Con Carolinas a couple of years back, and this guy walks past, and he's got this full military uniform on, and it looked really cool. And I was like, "What are you from?" And he's like, "Warhammer 40K," and I'm like, "Hey."
Pete would have liked that one.
I sure would have.
My husband actually used to wear. My husband plays Warhammer, so he recognized
see,
the uniform.
There you go.
He's like, he's a Marine. He's a Space Marine.
It's out there. See, you can't avoid it. You know, see that? Tipsy thought it was going to be like, oh, nobody knows it, but see, there you go. Husband's a good guy. Then I already like him 100%. By the way,
so you choose.
What?
I was just going to.
What was that?
Finish so she chooses the conventions to meet people and see the cosplays.
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay.
It's
What
even
is
more fun when you're the only Battlestar person walking around and everybody's like, "Is that Galactica?"
Oh, see,
Well,
that's
it's backwards for
I've had a few of
us.
those.
Half the time we
yep.
walk around and like, so who are
Nobody.
you?
Nobody
I've had
knows.
I've
I'd
had
rather get the who are
Eastgate.
you? Yeah,
Eastgate,
and
I've
not
had
yep.
that.
Nobody knows.
I had somebody who think I was space above and beyond at one point.
Oh wow.
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, yeah, kind of, sort of.
I was like,
How,
no, it's Battlestar Galactica. Yeah.
And they're like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah. I've had a couple that are like, what's that? And I'm like, you're definitely a millennial. You're probably Gen Z.
It
Go
was
sit in the corner.
on, you can just turn around and tell them it was on. Depends on whether you're the reimagined or not. It's on 22 years ago.
I can do that now. My favorite thing is when the little kids come up because we have because Galactica we're the cool table because Galactica the Kobo fleet we carry blow pops with us. So I think
oh,
all the kids come over to us just to get a free blow pop.
of course, of course. I need to know your bucket list conventions.
Bucket list conventions.
Yeah, come
Probably
on.
besides Dragon Con, I would say San Diego.
Oh yeah.
San Diego. All
San
right.
Diego.
Yep.
I'm hoping to do one this summer. It depends on the money situation and what's going on with GalaxyCon Raleigh.
Oh, okay.
So I'm hoping to
So,
do that.
all right, let me ask you this. Stay on that. If you can get to it, is it a matter of are you going to be looking to register as a fan table or just a fan? What would be your focus?
For GalaxyCon Raleigh, the first time I'll probably just go as me as a fan.
Okay.
Um, I'm
How
hoping to do it, but we'll see.
how far is that for you?
Raleigh is about an hour and a half,
Hour and a half. Wow. Okay. So
so it's not bad.
that's a yeah,
It's
that's
not
a
bad.
little bit of a ride. All
It's not
right.
bad.
Well, no, it's not too bad. But remember that since you do our segment for conventions, it would be kind of cool. Give us a heads up if there's anything
Like,
that you're going to go to so that we can register you for media and then you can get in and
absolutely.
do a little IFB stuff while you do the rest of what you want to do. Um,
my craziness,
yeah, exactly. You can mix it
my
all up.
chaos,
Yeah, yeah.
my chaos.
Yes, but you know what to do. Doing a little bit of coverage, do your cosplay, and then we kind of share it up here on IFB. Like,
Um,
yeah, it'll
I
be kind of.
know. The other one I want to go to is in Charlotte. I don't have the dates in front of me, but that's Con Carolinas. That's been going on for about 25,
Oh,
25
really?
years. Yeah, I think 25 years.
Oh, wow.
And of
Okay,
course,
so
I want to do shore leave at some point too. So
okay, so there we go. So we put together a nice little bucket list. I like it. Very good. Okay, and so tell me, what is, like if you had to pull out one of the experiences from all the years that you've been going to cons, what's some of like, the happiest moments when it comes to, cons?
trying to think of some of those stories from cons.
You've done a lot. You've
I
been to
have
a lot of them.
I do I do.
And if we say, hey, Erica, what was the coolest thing? Like, you went to, one of them and I'll tell you, so I'll give you, buy you some time. I went to Pasadena back in like 1994 and it was a Star Trek convention and it was one of those giant ones and I met so many cool people, like other fans, and everybody was friendly. We stayed out till it was, I think, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night on lines waiting for the autographs that were part of the tickets, and the stars all signed. Couldn't personalize, but they were going to stay till the very end. But everybody that I was with online became like friends and we
yeah,
exchanged information
yeah.
and stuff and it was fun. So that's my one of my experiences.
Um, I was at Wizard World
Oh,
back
okay.
in Winston-Salem. It was the only time they were in Winston-Salem here in North Carolina. And the coolest thing was meeting Brian Krause from Charmed. He played Leo. Getting a picture with him, which I have. I should have sent it to you guys so you could use it. I did a picture with him. I talked to him. He couldn't personalize an autograph, but he'd sign stuff. So I have his autograph on a box from Charmed, on a DVD collection. So I have that. So that was fun. Um,
Cool.
that was cool. So
Yeah.
um,
What? So, all right. So that's, see, these are the things that, the takeaways. We go to cons and you meet other fans that, you kind of bond with, and you meet celebrities that you have a good time with, right? Those are two big things. The other thing I heard you say was the cosplay. And I'll tell you, Erika, it took me many years to actually appreciate cosplay. I took it for granted. And then eventually, as I started, as I got more, going to more and more cons, I was like, you know what? If you go to a con and there's no cosplay, like zero, that's
time
not
to
a
go.
good con.
It's time to go.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it's not only cosplay, but it's kind of cool to see, people in, doing the cosplay. I think it adds
Yeah.
something to it.
We
It
I
doesn't take
saw
away.
I've seen some really awesome cosplay. When I was at Eastgate, the last time I was at Eastgate, um my husband is doing something in the kitchen. Um one of the judges was dressed as an elf. His own design as an elf was
Oh,
really cool.
okay.
Um the woman who ran that group was Cruella DeVille. I mean, it
Oh,
was it was amazing. One of the contestants was Master Chief. He had a
oh,
full Master
cool.
Chief. Um it was amazing. We had one little boy who was dressed as Robin. He made his own costume.
Nice. Oh, that's
Um,
cool.
so that was cool. Although he didn't stick around for the cosplay. We tried to talk him into it, but he was really nervous. But he was a cute little kid.
That's
Um,
cool. Erica, did you say Dragon Con is on your bucket list or no?
it is.
It is.
I'm hoping to go for the 50th anniversary for
Yeah,
BSP.
Ooh,
that's
I am
something we have to
hoping.
think about. Yeah.
Um,
that would be
but I don't
cool.
know. I don't know. I
If
mean,
you,
I'm sure the BFC will be there. I'm gonna see if I can get a couple of Global Fleet people to go. Besides me, I'm hoping
if
to get
if you're gonna
our head
go,
marine.
if you can, well, you're gonna have to coordinate with John One. He's pretty committed, but and Fran, and you guys will,
Oh yeah,
you can,
I'll definitely see who's there, and there will
yeah,
definitely be a meetup. There will definitely be a meetup.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna try
yeah.
and get, yeah, I'm gonna try and get my head marine off the Galactica to go.
Cool.
Um,
Yeah,
so it's him. I'll go.
I'd
We'll
like
see.
to have you guys divide and conquer a little bit, and do set up some pre-interviews so you can meet up with some of the people that we know that we've actually met up with before. So because John can't do it all by himself, but it would be
Yeah.
kind of cool. And then you
And
could
I
do
and I
you
can't
could do
make it
one,
this year.
he could do, and this way you'll have more material for a future segment,
Definitely.
convention thing, if and when. But
If and when.
hey, look, it's always cool to just be able to come on and just chat about, convention experiences, right? You brought up a couple of cons in your area. We talked back and forth some of the history, some of what it feels like.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's what's fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So look, we really appreciate you taking the time out. And we thank you. I kind of said this to you offline, was thanks for being patient with us as well. Just hanging in there and doing what you're doing for IFB and being part of the team. You are appreciated. We are all happy that you're doing better. And just keep on doing what you're doing. We look forward to the next one. And I will be
Amen.
sending you, oh, send me next time for your next segment. Send me some pictures ahead of time so that we can put those up, because I definitely want to see some of your stuff.
Some of the really bad con pictures.
Yeah, of course. Come on. You got good con pictures. Come on. Don't be
I have a few. There's one that I
cool.
particularly like with me and a samurai from Eastgate. A guy just
Nice.
samurai, and he had all this LED lights, and it was really cool. and he actually won at the con
That's cool.
for I don't remember
Cool.
what he won for, but he got first place at the con, the same con I did. So
Awesome. See,
I
there
still
you
have
go.
I still have my trophy. It's back there. I don't know if you can see
Yeah, we see it. There it is. Busted. Excellent. Erika, thank you again. And we look forward to the next time you come on.
That will be May the 21st. I'll be
All
back.
right. Well, here's to
All right.
you, Erika. Thank you for doing the convention chat with us.
No problem.
All right. You take care.
You too.
Thanks for the fleet.
Cheers. Erika, so Kim Harm says, Erika, you've got con stories you can tell. Wish I had those kind of stories.
What happens at the con
And
stays
Kim
at the
says,
con.
No. Kim says, I love cosplay, but I really like to do my own original costumes inspired by shows. Oh, ho, ho. Erika, Lola and I will be there. I'll be taking out a personal loan to go.
Oh, my God.
Excellent. Thank you, Kim. You need to make sure that you send us pictures ahead of time so we can use those as part of the segment when Erika comes on, so we can just include that in the convention corner. Oh, Mike DeBrune, fan share. My favorite con experience was meeting Gil Buck Rogers Gerard. Spoke at length, very personable. Talked about his time driving a cab in New York City early in his career.
Yeah, I met,
what a gentleman, Rip.
I think I met Gil Gerard at the Dragon Con, and
Nice.
was talking with him. I said, "Oh, this is cool. Get to talk." I got a signed letter on it. He said, "You need a T-shirt." I mean, he was an upseller, man.
He was just,
he was an upseller so big. He's like,
yeah.
"No, you really need a T-shirt. I designed this T-shirt myself." And he popped the shirt out. He's like, "You really need one of these. I mean, it goes along with the autograph and everything else." I'm like, "Fine, I'll take one."
Yes. He was definitely like that. I got to meet him at WinterCon. It was a convention that was here in Queens, New York City. Ran for about 5 or 6 years, and it just, like everything else that, all good things, it ran its course. I don't know that it's ever coming back. I hope it does. If you guys are out there, WinterCon was awesome, had such a great lineup, and so he was there, and I got to hear the same type of thing. So he was pitching hard, and he had two fans in front of him, and I was like, I can't wait to see the outcome of this. I'm gonna go get another autograph. And so I left his table, didn't get back to it, but it was I was there. I got to see him and talking, and he did the whole upsell thing, and yeah. So it was cool.
It is cool. Let's see. We Bran to show up, so he's not here yet.
Yes, he's not here yet.
But we do have other news.
Yes, we
I
do.
just checked, and it's still not up, by the way.
Okay. Well, first of all, let me just mention this. So, being that IFB is big into 70s, 80s, and some 90s, a big part of that was, of course, wrestling. I just happened to get this in the mail, right? This is the NWA Heavyweight Championship belt, and it's a story all about it. It's really, really well done. Maybe we can get the authors to come on and we can talk a little bit about wrestling, because, hey, it was a big part of those years. Not that it's gone away or anything, but we will have a guest. We're going to have a referee that is going to come on the show, thanks to George Giacomis has made the contact for us. And so we will have a professional wrestling ref who worked in the business for decades, is still affiliated, and is going to be able to share and exchange stories about all of those big time wrestlers that we grew up watching back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's going to be a tremendous amount of fun, something that we haven't really done. And I look forward to it because I grew up watching wrestling, a lot of wrestling, watch a lot of it, got to see it front row for one major ringside night at Madison Square Garden, and it was phenomenal. Andre the Giant was there, Ted DiBiase was there,
I've seen Andre and
yeah,
I can't remember the one. Maybe somebody can help us out. He came in, I think it was Polish. Don't get me, that's not bad. It just happened to be a fact. And he came in, he always was pulling the little dog thing behind him, a little dog toy. I don't know if anybody remembers this. I remember seeing that one, and that's Casper, Wyoming.
Oh wow!
So
that wasn't
I saw Andre. I've seen.
Oh yeah! Wow.
I saw the big, Hulk.
Yeah. Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
And
I saw Bruno Sammartino wrestle sold out Madison Square Garden in the nosebleed seats when he lost the title to superstar Billy Graham for the last time. And then, Billy Graham fought, superstar Billy Graham fought as the heavyweight champion of WWF, and then eventually passed it on to Bob Backlund. So I got to see that and a lot of matches at Madison Square Garden, and then local too, Chris. I went to, some of the high schools and some of the local little places that had wrestling. And so I got to see and meet some of these guys. And so it was a big part of, growing up was, watching wrestling. And sometimes on Saturdays, I could see roller derby on, one of those extra channels. On Saturday mornings or afternoons. It was on for a few years. I remember watching roller derby. Was a lot of fun. The one that was broadcast to the East Coast from California, and they'd go at it, and it was just incredible. And it was one of those the rink. It had a sloped
bank
rink.
Track.
Yeah, it was those
bank
guys
track.
were
You don't see
awesome.
too many. I think Philadelphia is the only banked track in the nation still for roller derby.
Wow.
All the other ones are flat track, and of course flat track's safe.
Yeah.
It's much easier to find a place to do flat track because you can do it on any gym floor. You just tape it out.
I wanted to, before we get into our biggest news
with the roller derby queen,
I want to share something that I got in the mail. Check this out. Look at that.
Wow. Richard is really young there.
October 15th to 17, 1993, Universal City Hilton, Los Angeles, California. This is the 15th reunion, official Battlestar Galactica.
What is it thing down in the corner?
Look at what it is.
It doesn't look like a Cylon.
With a dagged head.
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
That's horrible.
This is an original.
Once again, we all know that if you watch the show and everything, I even put it up. I think Muffet was undercover for us in regards to
Battlestar Galactica.
What is it?
15-yard reunion.
They could have used a much better font on that 15-yard reunion so you could read the damn thing.
I know that some of you actually went to it.
If you have, raise your hand.
Here it is. Look at that. Right? Welcome to Earth. Right? This shows history, convention. And some of the names here, we have actually spoken to some of them. But I mentioned this to you in here. There is an advertisement for, you're not going to believe. It's pretty cool, right? And stay with me here 1 second as I get to not the 13th tribe. That's not what I'm talking about. It is for join. Check this out. Join the Colonial Warriors. All right. And it is a Battlestar fan club. We need you, right? And I'm going to tell you who it's care of. Clara M. Hopestick in Boston, Massachusetts.
We're still working on getting her back on.
So we're working on getting her back on. And this was an ad for her fan club, her Battlestar Galactica. Join the Colonial Warriors. And it's Colonial Warriors United Battlestar Galactica fan club. And this is from back in, she, I believe, started this in 93. 93, if I'm not mistaken, 92 or 93. And here's a full page ad. So we almost had her on our previous show.
Yeah, we had a little bit of technical difficulties. Yeah.
We are going to have her come back and we're going to talk to her all about those glory days. And now we have this to ask her about. This is really, really fun. This actual, magazine, commemorative,
That thing's pretty well put together.
It is. It is really well put together. I even have something that is very rare. I've never seen many of these, but here is, guess what? It is an official Galactica reunion post-con report from November 93, right? And it outlines all about what went on at the con. And, first off, several folks, I personally mailed flyers during the weekend. We on the con staff dealt with these mix-ups. There were 17 documented attempts to break into the dealers and display area ballroom. Our security staff was up continuously on Friday and Saturday nights, keeping these people away. When we went to the hotel security for help and to report what was going on, we were informed that we would have to pay them money if additional security was desired. On Monday morning, the sales manager attempted to laugh off our concerns as to the state of the level of security at the Hilton. He informed us that these break-ins were a normal occurrence in LA and took place in every hotel. Right. Interesting attitude.
Yeah, see, if they would have just deployed the Daggets or the Cylons, it would have been okay.
Yes. I'm going to share all these little things with you guys.
Scan that in. That'd be fun.
However, before we move on, I want to read this to you, which is on the back page, right at the very end. You'll find this fascinating. It says, merchandise still available. 8 hours long VHS videotape with nifty graphics and titles was not $25 in 1993, which is a little bit expensive. Self-addressed stamped envelope for info on Beta and PAL.
Beta? Oh my God.
Yes. I see. I knew you guys would get a kick out of that. Reunion T-shirt, which we have seen, black with silver and purple Cylon, $20. Also a little bit expensive. And the only sizes left were extra large, XX large, and triple X large. Reunion program book, which I just showed you, color cover, glossy interior, cool pics, latest star updates, $10. And Gauntlet Rules booklet. I don't know what that is, but that's $5. And Reunion Passes card set includes a Boltar Fan from Hell badge, $5. All listed prices include postage and handling. Any net proceeds donated to the Nature Conservancy and the Pediatric AIDS Foundation. So
cool.
I thought everyone would find that very interesting. I will be scanning this so that I can share this on IFB, right? And you guys can all then read this for yourselves. I thought it's super fascinating. So I saw it, I picked it up. I think it was well worth the investment. And I didn't see you guys. I know some of you were there. Well, Lola, this was the 15th year reunion. There was an official reunion. It was huge. They had original costumes, right? Nobody had seen these things ever before, all in one place. It was tremendous. All of the main cast were there. It was fantastic. And so it's very rare to get a post-con write-up. There were issues, and it's rare also to have someone be honest enough and tell you, we've kind of heard about this before, that at the convention, this particular convention, there were major security issues. There was a matter of theft. There was break-ins. It had trouble securing the dealer's room. It was a bit of a mess, the convention. Unfortunately, it probably would have done better if they were able to kind of, bring it all together. But they had issues, unfortunately. So Rob Baum says, I heard there was a 10 yarn reunion in 1988. Anyone here attended? Guys, please, if any of you did. So
also, I love Robert. If you can find this, you said you don't know what became of your 15 yarn reunion program. So he was there.
There you go.
And
well, I have.
He said he got it signed by Terry Carter, Herb Jefferson, Ann Lockhart, Lorette Spang, Jean-Pierre Dorliac, John. Well, I'm going to screw that one up. Dolaguson. I think maybe it's respelled. Sarah Rush, Jim Carlson, and Terrence McDonald. Wow.
Wow. That's a great collection.
You need to go find that one.
Moving on. I wanted to. Some of you have actually seen the posts, and today is the day that we wanted to announce the fact that our IFB compendium is now going to be officially available in paperback and hard copy. And of course, the e-Kindle version of this is already out there, and it's only like a couple of bucks. We made the bestseller list. We made the new, what is it, Chris? There was another list that we made right off the bat.
It was new something.
IFB, yeah, new listing, new book. We were like in the top of that for new releases, Kindle wise. So we made the bestseller list. So thank you everybody that bought this, that pre-ordered it, and then bought it afterwards. Thank you.
And for those people who've been waiting for the non-digital version,
you can get it now.
It's coming.
It's
not out.
It's coming 48 hours.
We'll let you know.
Up
to 72.
I think 48
they have
hours.
to have it approved. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to give them 48, but they said 72. So.
But yeah, 72. All right. Yeah. So it'll be out there. You'll be able to pick up a copy like I have, and thank you very much. So again, IFB / Battlestar Galactica lives on. Thank you everybody for supporting. Chris, I've mentioned this before. Tipsy, did the heavy lifting on this. Thank you, Tiny Bean. Thank you, the team, everybody involved in IFB. Including Bran, including Chris Fee, and everybody that's a part of officially our team. You're in here. So we have pictures of you. You're in here. Thank you very much. So we are bestsellers, which is kind of weird and bizarre. Thank you very much for that. We also announce officially that Tipsy Toaster Productions we have a publishing branch now. So officially we are now publishing. And we did our first as a test run, successful, of course. So we have a bunch of other books that are lined up. We have one that's a Battlestar Galactica book, and it is a nonfiction. It's called For the Love of Battlestar. And many of you, number of you have actually contributed. And Glenn Eric Larson has written the foreword for it. So his name will appear on the cover. That is pending. That'll be out. We also have lined up a bunch of authors have stepped up. And so we're going to have a couple of comic books. We're going to be publishing nonfiction as well. We have a great book from an author from overseas. Has been working on a project now for a couple of years. It has to do with organized crime and the soccer leagues in Europe. And so that's something we'll be publishing. So we have poetry. We're going to have a small series of poetry as well, and a couple other genre books that'll be coming out under the Tipsy Toaster Publishing. So thank you for supporting. Wanted to announce that, and there you go, guys. Chris, I know
if there's anybody else out there that has books they want to get published, come on down.
We have the ability, and so we're working. Thank you, Chris, for again, just daring to do it, and
crazy enough to do it. But I needed encouragement, and that's from you.
Well, that's the least I could do, and so our company is moving forward, and we're proud to announce all of these things. And like I said, it's kind of crazy. We have authors that are lining up, and so we will be signing contracts soon and announcing the authors and the books as we finalize. So stay tuned. Thank you for supporting, and we have our Star Trek update.
Yeah,
with
and we need
Admiral.
Bran to write a book about the Star Trek fandom.
Oh yeah,
Wouldn't
that would
be
cool.
That would be interesting.
Absolutely.
All the
against
different
said
fan
idea, I
groups,
suppose.
all the different fan groups, and
I mean,
Yeah.
that would be interesting.
some exposés on what Star Trek means to me, or what was my favorite episode, and get a bunch of the fans out there from either Tiburon or just all of the different ones, and say, hey, write a couple of pages and we'll put it into a book.
That idea is going to fester now for a while. That's just going to sit there, and
You know where we're at, man.
that's
Don't
just
let
going to
it sit
fester.
too long. You gotta
Yep.
you gotta work on it.
Gotta act
Bran,
on
thank
it.
you for coming on. I know that you had to race against time. I'm glad you made it. Thank you so much.
Of course.
there's
I'm
been-
glad it was definitely an interesting drive home. We have the Colorado Rockies playing tonight, and then there's an Avs game this evening in about an hour. So to get my wife from downtown was incredibly busy, and traffic was insane. So I'm not in my normal stuff or my normal place, but this actually will be kind of interesting because there's something up there behind me that is pretty cool to talk about. So, sorry guys. I'm glad I could make it. Always fun to come on and say hello and see you all and talk about Star Trek to everybody. So unfortunately, there's not a lot of good news right now, right?
I know.
Yeah.
You know what?
so
It's sad.
it is. It is fast, right? I mean, they're not throwing any curveballs, I suppose. They're like, nope, the show's canceled. We've torn down the sets. We're auctioning off the stuff.
It's like, there's no coming back from that one.
Yeah, no, yeah. There's a huge campaign to bring it back, but I don't think it's going to happen. So anyway, so they canceled Academy at the end of season 1. There is going to be a season 2. It's already filmed and in post-production. I think that's it. I think it has to do with the fact, from what I've heard, that Secret Hideout, who's the production company with Alex Kurtzman, that contract ends in August, and it seems that Paramount, the new owners of Paramount, WB, whatever it's called today, wants to go in a totally different direction. I'm that's what it looks like. It could be wrong. I know there's a bunch of rumors out there of new stuff that's floating around, but so far none of that is nailed down yet. So
got some pictures.
The Star Trek United rumor is pretty exciting. I mean, he did last year at the Star Trek Vegas convention, which is almost a year ago, coming this August, made a comment on stage about coming back to Star Trek and doing this kind of show. So that seemed like a thing. But again, who knows? I guess we'll find out, kind of when we find out, right? But there's not a lot in the rumor mill. The owner of the Paramount Group made the comment that he's more interested in movies than the TV shows, but Star Trek has always kind of been a TV show. I mean, that's kind of where it thrives.
It's true.
But we'll see, right? I mean, we still got comic books and books. There's some wonderful novels out there, and hundreds of thousands and millions of them. So, there's definitely stories out there to continue going. Yeah. We still have a season and a half of Strange New Worlds coming out, which should be probably in the next 2 or 3 months. That should start. The next 4th season should start. I think there'll be July, my guess. So hopefully that starts in July, and then of course next year we'll have the last season of Academy, and then hold our breath to see what happens next. That's kind of the Star Trek world is right now. It's kind of taking that pause, right, to see what they're going to do. Is that Scott Bakula thing going to take off, which would be great. So.
I really
that would be more
Enterprise.
of a political thriller than anything else. I liked Academy. I didn't have a problem with it. I know there was a huge social media pushback, but
I think Academy was okay. I didn't like the beginning. The beginning reminded me of Beverly Hills 90210. It was just too many kiddie things going on. But I want to say towards the end, I think there is one I think the episode that got me started back into getting hooked into it was when they talked about a stage play that they did. I can't remember the name of the stage play that they did in there, and the actors, and the actors actually, I felt their acting abilities right at that point. Before then, it was like, it was
well,
okay.
I mean, season 1. I mean, let's make sure that you're like, everybody's like, oh, it's not Next Gen. Does anybody remember season 1 of Next Gen? I mean, it was pretty bad, people. It was pretty bad.
Q remembers.
Go back and watch it again. I know we have this HD stuff now. Trust me, it looks worse now.
Yep, Q remembers.
Code of Honor. Anybody remember that episode? So I think it was a beautiful show.
I enjoyed the storyline towards the end. Yeah.
Well, I think the problem with any current television show is this 10-story arc thing that we got going on with seasons now, right? I mean, Next Gen had 26, 24 episodes. Deep Space Nine, Voyager. You have plenty of time for character arcs and character development, and now you have 10 episodes, and you're trying to shove it all in there like a I don't know like what.
And unlike some of the older series, like the old Star Trek, Battlestar, all the other ones, you didn't need to be there last week to understand what's going on this week.
Yeah,
they were not continuously running together.
Storylines,
Which,
and even
I do like the idea the storylines can get, go across, but I think the you could get 24 episodes in.
Yeah,
whereas
and you had the one-offs and the weird episodes that made it good. But so I don't know. I didn't dislike it. I mean, it took a little time for me to like the show. I know everybody was like, "Oh, Holly Hunter, Captain Aki got in the captain's chair and like laid down in it." Oh my god,
that was a little weird. Come on, the foot thing was a little weird. We talked about that before. So
apparently that's Holly though. Apparently she just likes being barefoot.
That sounds like what the heck's his name?
I don't know.
The Belter from.
He was the Punisher.
Oh yeah,
the Punisher. I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
he's supposed to come on our show and never. Followed through.
He loves walking barefoot. Bran, James McCoy. I think he's a captain over at USS Gorkon, Region 1, and he brought up. He made a quick point that I, for whatever reason, was not aware of this. I missed it. He said almost 50,000 letters / petitions, and they just ignored us.
Yep.
Wow,
that's pretty much what happened. Unfortunately, I think
money. That's all it speaks of.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I think the campaign wasn't moving as fast as tearing down the sets. I heard it was at 48 or 452 or something like that just recently. I'm on that too. But you tear down the sets, that's pretty much the nail in the coffin, right? I mean, you don't have a place to film anymore. So
absolutely. So what?
And they're taking down Strange New World sets now. And they're auctioning off Disco season 5 stuff. So it sounds like Paramount is cleaning house.
That's hard.
Are you in on any of the auctions?
No, I registered for the Disco one today, actually, just to see. Also, you get if you register, you might win a Tribble. So I could have 2. They're multiplying already.
Excellent.
But that one is actually the Tribble from the auction is actually from the short trek, The Trouble with Edward, which apparently is about. Obviously, if you've seen it, then it's about how Tribbles got so prolific, I suppose is the best way to say that.
Yes.
Yeah, the origin. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I'll sign up for that. I could use 2 Tribbles.
Of course.
But Tipsy has a great case, and we'll have pictures soon. So thank you again for that. It's definitely a conversation starter when we talk about it.
That's good.
And then one of our members actually had an interesting theory about why there's a hole in the bottom of Tipsy.
Yeah.
That sounds really funny when I'm on the podcast now that I think about it. But if you watch the Deep Space Nine episode, there's Tribbles that are kind of moving along the wall and stuff. So they would have to mount these Tribbles somehow to the apparatus that makes them move for the show. So the theory was maybe that's one of those Tribbles, and that's where Penny Jude, who was the set director, got that from, and hence how Tipsy got it and how Tipsy got his name. But yeah, so... But there's something really cool, and I don't know.
Got it. Love it.
Yeah, Tipsy the Tribble, not Tipsy you. There's something really cool, slightly off camera, that I have to turn the light off for you guys to see.
Oh, let's share.
Yeah, so let me. I have to move the camera too.
Wait a minute.
So
Turning
sorry
the light
for the
off.
horrible.
Keep clothes on, please. Keep clothes on.
Yeah, definitely. The clothes will stay on. I promise.
Oh,
whoa!
But here is for those who haven't seen it. My camera's
Holy
pretty
crap.
horrible. Sorry about that. That's the Tomy 1350 Enterprise. And
Let's
it
give
does
that a
all sorts
full.
of stuff, which I can't reach it. Can I reach it? There's a table in my way.
Yeah,
But
get a full
you
screen
probably
here.
can't see it very well.
Give
But
it a
if
full
I hit
screen,
the
man.
button,
There we go.
oh, there we go. So let me see if I can get the torpedoes.
Oh,
Right, the running lights should have just come on, which you can kind of see. And then it has a firing sequence. It doesn't have sound, though. I actually made
they
the
missed out
comment
on
that
that.
if this thing made sound, it would be a wet dream, to be honest. Sorry.
oh,
Oh,
that
you
is
can kind of see the
cool.
torpedoes, I think.
Yep, there you go.
Okay. Yeah, it's really cool. The warp nacelles will light up. But that was actually bought by a crew member. Sorry, make everybody sick. Motion sickness. And then kind of is living in my apartment, obviously. So just because it's too expensive to put into storage. So that it's a really cool thing. If you get a chance to see one, it'll be on our display at Fan Expo here in about a month. Hopefully in a case by then. But it's really cool. The lights change, so you can do a couple of different things with it. Like I said, it doesn't have sound, though. It seems really disappointing that it doesn't have sound. But yeah, it makes a really great backdrop.
The Viper will have sound when we get it from factory.
Yeah, no, I don't know why they didn't put sound in it, to be honest. I'm sure the price point was probably part of that argument. That probably would have been more licensing problems and stuff for Tomy to put sound on it. But yeah, it's been a conversation
Probably had to
piece on
license the sound.
It has.
You're talking about?
It's been
Yeah,
a conversation piece. I saw a couple of things written about it, and they all, poo-pooed the fact that it didn't have sound. Of course, when I read these things, I didn't know what they were talking about. And now that I see it, it's like, whoa, very cool. And then you're like, if it had this, okay, whatever. Yeah.
It's pretty much what it is. If it just made some impulse noises, when the lights light up to follow the torpedoes, you had the torpedo sound. It's based on the Enterprise from the motion picture.
Yep.
So it's the 1701. And it would just be cool if it just had some of the sounds. It is cool. Otherwise, it is also very heavy, by the way. That's about 20 pounds. I think it's about 17 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it is. I took it out of the box and was like, oh my God. First off, I'm holding this huge 350th scale Enterprise, flying it around my living room. And then I was like,
Making
oh my God.
kitty noises. That's why they didn't put the sounds in it, so you can make your own noises.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I might have been doing that. My dog is the only one that can answer that question, so and he's not talking.
Mike DeBrun says space is a vacuum and there's no sound in it. So there you go.
Well, I mean, scientifically speaking, that's correct. But
we
all know the
it's not fun.
If you're inside the Enterprise, do you hear the sounds?
Well, I mean, you do hear them on the original series. You don't really hear them on Next Gen as much because they have carpet, so it absorbs
if you're
more
inside,
noise.
you get to hear them, so you have to pretend that you're inside hearing them, watching it
I have
from
to
the
crawl
outside.
in there. I don't think I'm going to fit in that ship. It's a little small. I'll try, but I'll let you know if it works.
So yeah,
but no, it's really cool.
Yeah, it is. It's really cool. So thank
really
you
cool.
for sharing that.
Of course.
Bran, when's the next con? What is it that you're doing next? What's going on?
Oh my gosh. Right now we have just finished the two cons we just did, which was they're mini cons. So one was a 1-day event over in Commerce City, which is a little town over here. That's a great little public event. It's free. It's in a rec center. You just see so many kids that come out and see not only the different fandoms that are there, like the Ghostbusters were there. My friends over in the 501st were there, and the Mandalorians and all those guys, the droids. We have a fantastic R2-D2 here in Colorado. It does just about everything. It squeals at me every time it sees me. And but there's also lots of local artisans that are there that do their own crafting and stuff like that. So that's there. Then we did an all seas collectors showcase last weekend. God, yeah. Well, weekend before last, excuse me. Which is a comic and collector show. I spend more money at that show than we raise, but that's kind of what it's for. They have a lot of late model toys that I like to pick up, so I didn't spend that much this year. And then the next thing is Fan Expo Denver, which is the end of May. It's the weekend after Memorial Day. Thank God it's not July. Thank you. And that's really our focus right now, is making the repairs to the transporter and the alcove to get that set up and ready. We've got a bunch of design projects for new banners, new graphics. We have a new logo for our 20th anniversary last year. So it's just getting ready for Fan Expo, finishing off the tribbles. Proud to say that this year we have made 467 tribbles at the moment. We have sold 60 some odd of those already, 62 as a matter of fact this year already, which is pretty impressive. But yeah, so we have 405 on deck right now. Sounds fun. For Fan Expo Denver, and there might be a few more. Our XO found a new fabric place to order from, so he ordered a couple more yards and is trying to make tribbles on his own, just to see if the new fabric will work. It's a little bit cheaper, but it's a little weird. But yeah, so that's it. It's concentrating on Fan Expo. It's getting ready for that show. It's making the plans. We still haven't gotten our space allotment yet to know how much space we have to start doing the layout and stuff, but that's kind of up next and supposedly supposed to happen in the next day or so. So we'll see. I'm holding my breath. Watch me pass out.
What's the charity?
Yeah, so that's it. Urban Peak. So Urban Peak is a local charity, obviously. It's actually, I should have the information right here, because it should be sitting on this piece of paper. It is. Look at that. So Urban Peak is Colorado's pretty much only underage, I guess I'll say, teenager shelter that Denver in Colorado has. It handles kids, I guess we'll call them, from 12 to 24 that are homeless, and helps them get into the system and get housing and get all the stuff they need. Day services, shelters, well-being, health stuff, pretty much covers all of it. It's just a great program. They're actually really excited. My wife, Christina, who's our engineer, reached out to them, because that's kind of what her job is, and started talking to them about co-branding and stuff like that. So they sent us a bunch of stuff, which is what I was just looking at. So that's our charity this year, is Urban Peak. So hopefully we can sell, not all the tribbles, because we do have a couple more shows later in the year, but that looks like the logo. Urban Peak Ignites. Yeah, yep, that's them.
Excellent. Well done.
Yeah, no, it's a great charity. They seem like really great people. It is the only one here in Colorado that does underage kids, under 18, I think. Well, 12 to 18, obviously. 12 to 24 is their age group, but and they seem like a really great group of people. They have what's called the Mothership here, which is like a shelter for them,
Cool.
which is a weird name for it, but hey, kind of goes along with the sci-fi thing, right?
Absolutely. So well done. Yes, we appreciate that. I am dues paid up, sir.
You are. Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay. And so proud member of Tiburon. So keep up the good work. And just so you know, you're on page 322.
Oh God.
There you go.
Oh. All right. I need some royalties for that picture, please. Thank you.
It's Star Trek Sector Specialist. There you go.
All right. I guess I have to buy a book now. Uh-oh.
Well, what the heck? What's one more book? You should just get the Kindle, bro. Get the Kindle. It's you can show it off.
$1.99,
yeah. I didn't like reading books on devices. I'm really bad at that. That's why I have paper things.
There you go.
I am really bad at that. I really should be better with the industry I work in.
You should get yours so you could sign it at the cons, man.
Oh, there we go. Oh, that's another thing I should mention. Yes. Thank you for saying that. So it hasn't been announced yet. It's really still tentative, but the actor Randy James, who's been in 92 episodes of Next Gen and Deep Space Nine, you see him in the background of almost every scene in Deep Space Nine. He was an extra. He was a background guy. He's Lieutenant Jones. He's a security guy in Deep Space Nine. He's also in First Contact and the other movie, Insurrection. I think it's Insurrection. He's also in Hunt for Red October, When Harry Met Sally, one of the Naked Gun movies, and something else that I always forget one of them. But he is probably going to be at our display at Fan Expo. He is local here in Denver. We met him almost a year ago now, and his agent and I have been talking, and it's it's pretty settled. But so he will be at our booth. So there'll be somebody Star Trek related anyway. That's not totally true. At Fan Expo, we have Carl Urban coming.
Oh wow,
which is always cool. And then oh gosh, I just forgot his name. He was the voice of the bad guy in Prodigy, John Noble. That's his name. Is it John Noble?
Wow, yeah,
John Noble. Yeah,
that's wow, cool.
So some insular, well, Urban is the new bones in the now defunct, I suppose, J.J. Abrams movies,
Dredd.
but
love him.
Yeah, and Dredd, yes, the better Dredd, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
And the possible remake.
Yes, that's another one, yeah, and the boys, yeah, and wildly successful boys, which is probably what everybody knows him from. So yeah.
And I just watched him in the movie The Cliff. I think it's called The Cliff. The pirate movie.
Oh,
yeah,
amazing.
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, he's good. Great actor. Oh, so you can have a
absolutely.
great time there. Fantastic.
Yeah, it will be a good time. We have some Stargate guys. We have we have one Stargate guy. There's a bunch of obviously Star Wars people. Actually, one of the guys from the new Battlestar. Well, the newer Battlestar, I guess, right? He's on the bridge all the time. Oh my gosh, I am gone silly. I keep wanting to say Gaius, but that's Voltar.
Oh yeah, that would be something. Well,
that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, just put it up. But put them when you remember who it is. Just put them in the chat there.
Yeah,
and, add that in. It's about that time, Bran. Thank you for you were texting me, you were messaging me, and you were like, "Yeah, listen, Pete, I'm running really, really late. I don't know if I'm gonna make it." And I was like, "Look, if you can come on," that's why I said, "Look, the last half hour is yours if you can," and you made it. You made it. You went out of your way. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you, man. Doing the Star Trek. Who better to cover Star Trek? I mean, we're fans, right? But it's the Admiral, man. He's here. He's telling us about Star Trek. It's cool, right? So,
well, thank you guys. No, I'm glad I could make it. I wasn't really sure. Like, it was just not looking like I was going to get here by 7:30, and then I was in the parking garage at 7:20, and I'm like, I can get up the elevator in time. They just don't get a uniform and all the cool stuff, but I'll show them the ship.
Thank you.
And that worked out pretty well. And my camera looks really fuzzy for some reason, but I'll fix that later.
Not a problem. Not a problem. We really appreciate you coming on, Bran. Thank you so much. Fans fuel the fleet like you, and so we look forward to your next visit. Keep us in the loop when if there's a charity thing that the fans, our people, can contribute. Let us know. Send us the link. We'll put it up on IFB. We're here to support and just keep doing what you do.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all you do, and the more you do now, apparently. So have fun with all that stuff.
Yeah, well, if you got a book
working on that book, sir. We're waiting on that book.
That's going to fester. That's going to fester because I was already the backstage listening to Pete talk about the authors coming on. I'm like, wow, you could do a fandom book. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
I mean,
it'd be very.
Who has
cool.
a list of all the different fandoms and yeah, nobody has a list.
Yeah.
Well,
totally.
nowadays that'd be kind of impressive by itself. That'd be a book by itself.
Just the Star Trek ones. I mean,
Star Trek fans. Oh yeah, that would be really cool. So
and just some if you get a bunch of people that know how to write or don't even know how to write and have them put together. What was the episode?
I'll just have ChatGPT write it for me. It's okay.
Oh God. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that won't be good.
Yeah. My favorite episode was when the chimp was the whatever. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Actually, I've been playing around with a lot of AI for some graphic stuff that I'm working on, and
cool.
It does some random things.
Yep.
I was working on a new recruitment poster that's going to go up for Fan Expo, and I was like, change this and add the word "the," and then it took the whole thing and made it into a patch. And I'm like, that's not what I asked you at all.
What I asked.
Yeah, not even close. Yeah, not even close.
Is it Gata? Is that who's coming?
Gala. Yes, him. Yes, Gala, not Gaius. It was a G. That was where I was stuck.
Galen. Okay, cool. Well,
so whoever bailed me out there, thank you.
Thanks, guys. Bran, here's to you. Here's to Star Trek. Thank you. What you do is awesome. Live long and prosper.
Yep,
live long and prosper, guys. Have a great night. Be safe.
Too. Yeah. Take care.
Take care.
Awesome. See, that's how we roll here on IFB, man. Bran,
that's how we roll.
When I was like, listen, dude, if you can, the last half hour, that's going to be for you. And it was touch and go. I figured we have plenty to talk about. We always talk stuff, but hey, it's the Star Trek update, man.
Yeah, but and once again, I'm kind of concerned. They're getting rid of all the Star Trek stuff. Is this the end of the franchise? Is this the end of?
Who knows? Hopefully not.
Are they gonna? Is this going to be that time frame between? The episode, the last episode of actual Star Trek and the actual the movie again. I mean, the movie sucked, but
that's
how
that was
long
something
that was. How many
that could be
years
so look,
that was?
There's still stuff that will be released. So there's about, I'd say, like another year and a half, 2 years worth of stuff to cover, right? But what comes after that? There's talk about a movie. But who knows, right? So, there is more.
Fandom on the edge. That's always the question. Yeah. I mean, is it going to fall?
I don't know, man.
And,
We've seen it happen.
They're going to let it die. I mean, it's a.
I hope not.
It seems like
it would be silly.
It's not going to make enough money. We're getting rid of it.
Mike says Trek will endure. You know what? I have a funny feeling. It is one of the most successful. No, it is the most successful franchise in American history, which is like world history. Star Trek predates Star Wars, and Lifeline, right? It's 60 years old, and it has another couple of years left in terms of material that'll be out. So it's still going, and it outdates Star Wars. So it created fan fiction as we know it. Right? Fan fiction, they were the one, Gene Roddenberry is the one that kind of set that up. The way we know it comes from him and his mind and the way he brought it all together and stuff. And, this whole, TV to movie and movie back to TV, that's all Star Trek. Right. So, we'll see what happens, guys. Thank you very, very much for tuning in, everybody.
I like Mike DeBrun. Never fear, Tipsy. Hollywood ran out of new ideas a long time ago.
Great point, Mike. You're on fire tonight, man. You're on fire. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thank you for joining us live. I tried to, call out all of you that I saw. There were a lot of you I didn't. I apologize. However, thank you nonetheless. Thanks to everybody who watches us later on. Of course, the numbers, the watches go into thousands, Tipsy. We're very happy and proud, all over the world. All you guys that watch us everywhere. It is humbling. Thank you so much. Again, the Stranded Warrior did phenomenally. Stay tuned. Please come out and watch for those that can. And then we are pivoting over to the Tower Protocol Resurrection, an original IP that we came up with. So that'll be out there. Look out for the books that we'll be publishing now under Tipsy Toaster Publishing. It's official. And one more plug, right? Here is the IFB compendium, and the paperback and hardcover is available. And don't forget,
within the next 72 hours, it'll be available. Right now, it's just the electronic.
Will be at Shore Leave, and in a few weeks, we're going to have management from Shore Leave is going to start rolling into IFB and giving us updates on a regular basis. We're going to have a table there. We're going to screen the Stranded Warrior. We're going to have a Q&A. We're going to be manning the table for Jack. And we're going to be bringing the jacket. So everybody will get to see
you weren't
the
here
jacket.
Last week. You got to talk. We got to talk a little bit about that jacket. And
so the auction is not happening at Shore Leave, but it's a silent auction. And so if you're interested, you can make it known, and you can put in a bid. But it will not be auctioned at Shore Leave.
Right.
The purpose is to advertise it, but if anybody's committed, it's a silent auction, so we can start sign you up with your bid at Shore Leave, but it will not be completed. It's not going to be sold at Shore Leave. So just bear that in mind. There will be autographs.
We're not selling it in the state of Pennsylvania.
That is correct. So be aware.
There's a tax thing going on.
Yes. So be aware that you can interact with Jack. There have been questions.
Yep.
You can interact with Jack live at Shore Leave.
Walk up to the
you
table
have
and talk to him.
At Shore Leave. All you have to do is step up. He'll be on a monitor broadcasting live. It's like you're stepping into a Zoom.
Yep.
And you can talk to him. He'll be there 4 hours on Saturday, 4 hours on Sunday. The contract has been signed. It's official. It'll be up on Shore Leave's webpage. So stay tuned for that. We will be giving you coverage. We're happy to have all the support, and Battlestar fans are all uniting behind this. Everyone from BFCs to Battlestar Bulletin Board, Battlestar Galactica 1978, Colonial Warriors, IFB, everybody's all coming together for this. So we're going to have a great time. Sheba, Ian Lockhart, will be on, I believe it's Friday, Chris. She's going to have a dinner. Contact Shore Leave. It's on their webpage. You could sign up for it there.
And we'll try to get her on before.
Yes,
Shore
we're
Leave.
going to try to do a thing with her as well. Jack will be back in the future. And that's it, guys. Chris, parting words.
No parting words. It's always a wild ride, and there's so much going on, and there's so much more to get done. I'm retiring, but I'm not retiring, evidently. So
no, you're not. No,
there's
you're
so
not.
much to do after I do retire. So, anyways, thank you for being here, and we appreciate you being here. And we will see you next week, same bat channel, same bat place, Thursday at 8:00. We will be here waiting on you. And let me cue up the video while I'm sitting here talking, because Pete caught me flat-footed because I was over here thinking about something else. And there we go. And once again, it's just for you, because fans feel the fleet.
Take care, guys.